Today I'm going to be talking about addiction and how addiction can relate to crime, and specific drug addictions. So to start off, I'm going to talk about what an addiction and what a drug addiction is. So an addiction or a drug addiction is when a person uses a substance of some sort to an extent that that it becomes a daily routine of the person, and the person may feel like they need to take it. Also, it's causes drug seeking despite the harmful effects that it can have on the body. So basically, even though a person knows that the drug is not good for them and not good for their body, they'll still continue to use it because of the fact that they are addicted to it. So when a person becomes addicted, the body can go through withdrawal symptoms when that substance or drug is taken out of the body. Addiction can also correlate to tolerance. So basically, when the body is adapted to the drug, it will no longer have the same effect on the body, and then the person will continue to use a drug. An addiction can alter the mind and how the mind perceives the drug, and can also separate needs from wants. So a person can take a drug and continue to take a drug and become addicted to the drug, and they see it more as a need than a want. So it separates what they need from what they really want, just because of how the drug is affecting their body. Usually drugs are used to cope with different pains or different mental things. So some drugs are used to help cope with anxiety, some are used to help cope with depression, some are used to help cope with pain, like actual pain, like muscle pain and things like that. And then some physical effects that long-term drug abuse can have is that some internal damage can happen to the organs because of the constant drug use or substance use. Because if you're addicted to alcohol and you're constantly drinking alcohol, it can have an effect on the liver and the kidney. And then some drugs can have an effect on the lungs, or like tobacco and nicotine, they are definitely addictive and they can have an effect on the lungs. And some have effects on the brain and neurological pathways in the brain. Usually when a person becomes addicted to a drug, they feel like they need it, and they feel like they need it more than they need other things in life, which can definitely lead to the crime-related things that I will talk about later on. But with a drug, once someone decides they don't want to take that drug anymore, or once they're off that drug, or even if they don't have it for a certain period of time, they end up going through withdrawal symptoms. And basically what a withdrawal symptom is it happens to the body when the drug or substance is no longer being used or is out of the system. So when the human body gets so used to something being put in it, and then all of a sudden it doesn't have that anymore, like say someone smokes cigarettes, so they have nicotine in them, so they smoke 20 to 50 cigarettes a day. So their body is so used to having nicotine in it, like constantly, that when they go to maybe 3 days without smoking, their body can go through withdrawal symptoms. And withdrawal symptoms can include anxiety, fatigue, sweating, vomiting, depression, seizures, and even hallucinations. So basically withdrawal symptoms can definitely make you feel like you have a cold, but it can also heighten some other things. It can make you hallucinate, see things that you don't really see, or it can make you have anxiety and up your depression and other things like that, especially in like cases where people are getting addicted to things to help cope with those things. Like if someone's taking a drug to help cope with their anxiety, and then all of a sudden they're not taking that drug anymore for their anxiety, so they stop taking the drug, they go through the withdrawal symptoms, and their anxiety is worse than what it was in the beginning. Withdrawals can lead people back into the addiction, and the addiction can be harmful when the mind is tricked into thinking it needs something. It will do anything that it can to get that something. So going back to what I was saying earlier, that an addiction can make a person feel like they need it, and it can separate their wants from needs, from what they really want, or from what they really need to what they want. So they want this drug, they want it, want it so bad that they feel like they need it. So they push off the things that they actually need. They push off getting food, water, shelter, things that they actually need in order to buy and get this drug. A lot of drug addicts who have kids actually don't have custody of their children because they put their children second after their drug addiction. So that definitely, in my opinion, drug addiction can definitely lead into crime because people, especially with illegal substances and illegal drugs, these people are fighting to want their drug. They're fighting to get that drug, so then they're going out and they're stealing. They're selling things that they shouldn't sell. Like some prostitutes, for example, they have drug addictions and they're selling their bodies in order to get money for this drug. And then they have to legally buy it, and it definitely leads into a huge crime rate. And that kind of leads into gateway theory, if you are familiar with it. But yeah, basically, I believe that addiction of any case can lead into crime and other related things that are not so good.